Your man of the match, I think, Willian, set up the first goal. You love the way he played today.
I thought he was magnificent in the second half. Really got to grips with it, you know. Had a tough time in the opening game of his opening match. I think he was substituted in his first game. He's really come into it now. He's a confidence player, but he was absolutely fantastic today. Really fantastic. His driving runs actually set up this Brazil win.
Well, let's have a look at Willian then, and those driving runs, which were a feature of the whole of the second half. And you had a lot of space, you were saying, in which to run into quite often.
Yeah, and this we said at the halftime that the game's going to be decided from the front players, front 3 or 4 plus 1 midfielder, and they just speed it up in the second half. It's pure difference in the class. It was different speed and everything, different pace. Willian, Neymar, he scored one, he made one. And still, we are not quite happy the way we play, the way he played. They are really very comfortable against the sides that beat Germany, and that so far was kind of a surprise package.
Firmino came on and scored. Jesus hasn't scored yet. Is there a debate to be had there? Not just because he scored, Firmino, but is there a debate to be had for the next game, the quarter-final?
I mean, this is a tap-in, but he's there at least. But you have to think a little bit now. 4 games Jesus haven't scored in, so he comes on, scored on his first touch more or less, and you have to start thinking about it. I also think that with Firmino in the team, there's a little bit better hold-up play and also combination play with him when he's playing compared when Jesus is playing.
I'm a little bit disappointed with Mexico. Okay, did they run out of steam? I don't know, but basically they never push. They play with flat back 4. They never push. I know it's hard. It's Brazil, and I would probably play with 5 at the back or whatever. But they never pushed the full backs on. They never forced Willian, Coutinho, and Neymar to go back deep in their own half. They were always in a position behind the ball, the Brazilians behind the ball, but when they regain the position in very good situations, they can burst up. And they use it in the second half especially.
Yeah, it actually looked like they conserved a bit of energy as well, Brazil, of course, because it was extremely hot there. The other talking point was that little flashpoint between Leon and Neymar. Mark Clattenburg's had a look at it for us and can give us your verdict, which we passed on to John Champion during commentary. Mark, talk us through why you think Leon should have got a red card.
Just before the red card, what I noticed about 8 minutes earlier was there was an altercation between Leon and Neymar on the touchline, which the 4th official got involved in very well. You can just see the 2 players coming together. Maybe Leon's trying to wind Neymar up at this stage. He wants to pick him up. Neymar's not happy. 4th official intervenes quite well. But this is probably clearly tactic. He's come off the bench. He's trying to wind Neymar up to try and get a reaction. And at this point, okay, it looks normal. Leon looks to get the ball. The reaction of Neymar doesn't help. At this point, you think, come on, Neymar, get up. What's gone on? You know, his reaction's probably over the top. But what we do see is Leon putting his foot, standing on Neymar's leg. This is a deliberate act. Neymar's foot's on the turf. Leon's foot comes direct onto Neymar's leg. And therefore, it's a clear red card for violent conduct.
What do you think, Martin? I mean, the reaction, it looks like he's been stung by an electric eel, Neymar. I'm sure it hurts a lot, but do you think it was a bit over the top?
His reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Honestly. Mark's right, it's a red card nowadays because they've spotted somebody standing in his foot. I mean, the pain threshold of Neymar is just incredibly low, I must admit. I wouldn't like to see him coming out of the doctor's surgery after getting a flu injection. And just ridiculous.
Got enough energy to shuffle along a little bit.
He's a top quality player, he's a top quality actor. And that's, you know, funny enough, when Slaven just mentioned there about he hasn't really hit it yet, you know, part of our thinking is actually to do with all of this play acting, you know. He's been down dozens and dozens of times. He gets up again, you know. He's completed 4 games. Hasn't done too badly out of it.
Do you like the look of Brazil? Are they warming up nicely for it? Do they have a nice balance about them and justifying the favouritism?
I don't believe in that warming up. I think they weren't good. They were nervous in the first game against Switzerland and all that. But today, against a good side, they were very good. Don't forget, and credit to them, because 2 weeks before the tournament, they lost Dani Alves. Very important playmaker on the right side, right full back. They lost Marcelo. Again, great left back. So to come to the tournament, to adjust your team, because these couple of players, Felipe Luis is totally different than Marcelo. And the other guy, Fagner.
Yeah.
So they looked serious today.
I mean, the organization, to have the discipline to carry it on is just fantastic to see. And I mean, I just hope that they push on a little bit more so you can see the things that you expect from Brazil. But this, I can also like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, they're clearly the team to beat just at the moment, aren't they? The team to beat. Roy Keane and his shoes back with us for the semi-finals. Now, 20 years ago, England beat Colombia 2-0 at the World Cup. A repeat performance will be most welcome for Gareth Southgate and his team here in Moscow tomorrow night. Gabriel Clark has the latest news from the camp.
As the draw is whittled down, it's starting to feel like the opportunity of a lifetime. In England's dream scenario, this is the first of 3 games in Moscow over 12 days.
I'm proud of the way the players have played. I'm proud of the way they've connected back with the fans. I just want to see the players go and really play at the level I believe they can in this match, and if they do that, they'll win the game.
Colombia have been boosted by the news that their star man, James Rodriguez, should be fit to play and join a team featuring some familiar names. Radamel Falcao, Juan Cuadrado and Tottenham's Davison Sanchez, all overseen by the Argentinian coach Jose Pekerman, who believes his side have a psychological edge over England because they've essentially been playing knockout football since they lost their opening game to Japan.
They're such a passionate team. They have an amazing fan base who are going to, I'm sure they'll be out in numbers. They've got some great players, a lot of speed, especially in attack. For us, it's concentrating on ourselves as always.
As a team, there's an opportunity to go on and go far in the tournament, being positive and basically going and attacking the game. I think that's the most important thing. Like we did in the first game of the competition, I thought we attacked the game well.
Southgate is almost certain to revert to the team that started the first match against Tunisia, meaning the bulk of the side will have had the luxury of a 9-day break to recharge for the international game of their lives. So if there's one quality your team need now, what is it?
Calm. We have to be conscious of the things we can control and not be distracted by the emotion and the noise that will be outside our circle.
And express yourselves.
Absolutely.
Slaven's just said off air that the closer this game gets, the more English people are building up Colombia. Well, you can understand the sense of nervousness because there's such an opportunity here.
Yes, but it's funny, you know, I like, because every day we are finishing here with England.
Yeah.
So 5 days ago we finished like, bring Colombia on. Yesterday you said like in a couple of days we are facing a good side. Today I saw you on rehearsing saying like tomorrow we are facing very dangerous side of Colombia. Tomorrow we're going to be, oh my God, Colombia. But you know, you have a good chance, I think. The only thing I saw you in the past against South American teams, they can slow the tempo down. They got a pace with Guardado, with Quintero and them. But if they slow the pace down, and your players are not used to that, they like Premiership and all that, up and down, that's the key.
Yeah, and you all played in, or you were in squads of your country's biggest ever matches, you and the squad in '94 for Sweden in a World Cup semi-final. And Gabriel just said it's the biggest match they'll have ever had in an international shirt. So the question is how you deal with that pressure.
I mean, it's all different for everybody. I mean, myself, before I played a big game, was always try to get my sleep and don't think too much about the game and try to play the game and not the emotions when I got the chance.
Yeah, well, I was the captain of the team in 1982 of Northern Ireland. We had a really great tournament, but I was, you know, you felt a bit of extra responsibility because of the captaincy more than anything else. But really our idea was to go out and try and express ourselves in our defensive way that we can do, with some players up front who could actually do something for us as well. But as Henrik said, everyone to their own. All the talking now is almost stopped. Now it's time to perform.
And your message to the England players would be?
Just try they have to try to dictate the tempo. If they dictate the tempo for the most of the game, then for me they have a good chance.
And you also said that you were sure that James Rodriguez would play some way or another, by hook or by crook.
You know, he's a key player, and that injury didn't look like as a big one and all that. And I know that, I mean, you can't ask from the players to stay cool before tomorrow's game. And there's nothing wrong in being nervous. There's nothing wrong in sweating.
No.
There's nothing wrong, but you have to be like, not in a negative way, in a most positive way, and they should be. Because
sometimes
it's
nerves focuses them, a bit of adrenaline focuses the mind, can't it? You need that level of tension.
Of course you do, absolutely. You've got to feel a nervousness about the... And we've mentioned this earlier, about this is a big game for some of these lads. They would not have performed at an international level as in a game of this magnitude. It is big. But I think they're capable of doing it. In that little interview there, that there was the manager was talking about calm. I think that's right. They think that they have the ability to do it. It's being able to perform under pressure, and it's a big test.
It certainly is. We'll find out. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen, for this afternoon. Richard Henwood will be here later on with a roundup of all today's action. It includes the Belgium-Japan game. The winners to play Brazil. Highlights 10:45 tonight here on ITV. And then tomorrow, the big one, as England look to make it to a World Cup quarter-final for the first time in 12 years. They take on Colombia. 6:15, Gary Neville, Lee Dixon and Ian Wright with us. So we've lost Messi, we've lost Ronaldo, we've lost Iniesta, we've even lost the Germans. But Neymar is still going strong. And the big question now is, will England be